possibly the most underrated nootropic that I've ever tried, and potentially the most game-changing one. And no, it's not some crazy stimulant that you've never heard of. It's actually lithium. And no, I'm not licking batteries. Lithium is actually something that's used in the treatment of different psychiatric disorders at a higher dose. But at a low dose, it's been shown to have a lot of cellular health benefits. And cellular health benefits often correlate to having increased performance. So lithium acts on the brain and other tissues in the body, but particularly the brain. That's where this focus is going to be in this video. So what did I notice? Well, first of all, I took not a microdose as in 1 milligram or 5 milligrams of elemental lithium, which people often do, but I did take lithium orotate. It is the same supplemental one you can find on Amazon, at least in the United States. At a low dose, what I've noticed is just a regulation in my emotions. So sounds like, good would that really do for productivity or like being able to focus? But really, you think about it, a lot of times what keeps you from getting the things done that you want to do and you want to accomplish is not kind of in a peak state, but it's like, right? And so what I really noticed is those fluctuations that often get, certainly me, you can relate to this, of having like where you're doing pretty good, you're on point, you're the ball forward, you're making progress on the things you care about, and then you fall off because usually it's something to do with your mental health or a life event. Not necessarily that you have depression because you're not responding. Same, like maybe your life's good but you're feeling bad. No, it's actually more like sometimes bad things happen. It's just life, right? But like quickly you bounce back from that, and how much that throws you off. It's kind of thing that this really hit for me. So those events like that normally would bother me throughout, even small ones throughout the day, just don't bother me as much. Just a slight bit happier, a tick happier overall. I don't have like flatness in my mood, but I'm just like stable. That's one thing I noticed. And that also has had an impact on my sleep. I noticed like I used to have more nocturnal awakening. At night I have an Oura ring where I track my sleep, and I don't wake up as much at night anymore. I think that's just a stress regulation thing, just throughout my sleep. I do take a dose before bed, split my dose kind of throughout the day. And take a dose, and then like I don't have that, like I used to have like stress anxiety while I would sleep, like wake up just kind of like, that was crazy, probably from like nightmare or something that I would have and not necessarily remember. That doesn't happen as much anymore. So my sleep's gotten better as well. Yeah, a thing that's also known about lithium is it does increase neuroplasticity, which is kind of brain's ability to kind of rewire. We tend to lose that after childhood. It goes down kind of throughout life, but has an ability to preserve that and to increase that. So that's one way that it can help you like new habits and like new things, and be flexible in your approach for things. So it can be really great for like, or like in ways that are constructive. Like you have bad habits, maybe it might help you break those a little bit easier. That's potential. I don't necessarily say I noticed this, but I'm just kind of going into the mechanisms by which it works. It's a pathway called GSK3 beta, which is involved in stem cell production, or your stem cells' ability to kind of be able to be a little bit more regenerative. It kind of is a balance to like a little bit more of a regenerative state. It's upregulated, which is mostly in the brain, but it does do this throughout the body. So there may be some like kind of general cellular health to it as well. It increases something called autophagy, which is like breakdown and clearance of waste products that build up in the body, like products, just things that just junk basically. Have like trash men that come around and take out the junk in our body. And that system tends to decline over time. So you can do to upregulate that process. And even if it hasn't declined at all, it's functioning at its best level, you're just going to get the trash being taken out. Like you keep your place clean. You quit taking out the trash for a long time in your house or apartment, and it just built up and you just let it sit around. Over time, that probably would, you would start throwing you off. Eventually it'd get in the way and you'd be tripping over it. This helps the garbage men clear out the junk in our cells as well, especially in the brain. That becomes really relevant later in life. So it's a chance that it can really help preserve your brain function for a long time. So potentially it has shown like ability to increase lifespan in some model organisms, especially when combined with other things that help with the taking out the junk. But yeah, another potential benefits there. It also regulates like in the brain when things are overexcited and there's too much in the brain. It can calm down those nerve circuits. If things are too low, it might potentially bring it up. It's more like a modulator of these circuits. Time like increase like in the brain can cause oxidative stress and can damage your brain tissue. So this is like very protective at the right dose. And now there's also some downsides potentially. At a low dose, it's very likely that you're going to run into these, but at a higher dose, like therapeutic, they treat like mental disorders. They take a much higher dosage. Like me personally, I'm taking 5 milligrams 1, 2, 3 times per day, and then I take 10 milligrams before bed. So I'm taking a total of 25 milligrams of elemental lithium. Now I'm not talking about of lithium orotate. That's actually like milligram. It might be actually a little bit less, but it's hundreds of milligrams of lithium orotate is the form that I take. That's like elemental lithium, it's like milligrams, whereas like treating psychiatric disorders, it's milligrams of elemental lithium. So much like order of magnitude lower, and you get the upside or some of the upside without the downsides. So again, to go into the downsides, this is usually at higher dosages, like talking therapeutic levels, but to be aware of and be consistent. And again, this is not medical advice. I'm not telling you what to do. Don't do what I do. Crazy Tarzan, trying some N of 1 experiments to try to really optimize things, but also share this stuff with you. But don't necessarily try this stuff. If you do, make sure you talk to your doctor first. Help get someone who's knowledgeable to help you integrate this stuff. We're all different. So to get to the potential risk could be that could potentially be toxic to the kidneys. Now at a lower dose in mice, it's been shown to actually be beneficial for the kidney, be protective. But then there's some human signals in bipolar dosages that it may be toxic to the kidneys. Even that is debated. That's not proven for sure. That's more of like, and typically bipolar people do have an uptick in kidney problems anyways. They try to control for that, but so that being said, jury's out on the kidneys. It may actually damage your kidneys over a long period of time, like dosages. But at low dose, potential upside might actually be beneficial for the kidneys. We don't know. As far as other side effects, there are some others. I did the risk reward a little while back, so I don't remember there other ones specifically I was looking at. I think in a dehydration sense, it can increase your concentration of lithium, so it could potentially be dangerous if you're super dehydrated. It might increase the chances of, again, a kidney injury. So those are the ones that I can think of. But yeah, a whole lot of downside. For me, I don't see much downside in taking the low dose, so I decided to go for it. I did experience these benefits, and lithium's been a very welcomed addition to my nootropic stack. And I think, like, for me, it has been a game changer. I've been getting more work done. I've been making more progress towards my goals. My emotional states have been happier. Good too. It's always nice to improve your state, right? I am learning really well. I don't know, I'm doing a lot of other things. I don't know if it's necessarily the lithium, but I also think it stacks and synergizes with a lot of the other things that I'm doing to optimize my brain and cellular health.